So it's been a little bit since I've made a video, and when Halo Campaign Evolved was first announced, I wanted to share my thoughts on the game, but I was just so uninterested in that game that I didn't even feel like making a video. I wish I could have just snapped my fingers and had a video out there with my thoughts, but I didn't actually feel like making a video. And nothing's really changed. I mean, the game has been released now, but I still have very little to no interest in that game at all. And this video here is less about how good or faithful the game actually is, and it's more about the fact that 343 even decided to make this game. And I don't think I've uploaded a video to this channel since 343 rebranded as Halo Studios, so I'll just say now that yes, I understand they're Halo Studios now. I don't think new leadership and a name change makes them a completely different studio. I still call them 343, not because I'm totally against saying Halo Studios, but I'm just used to calling them that. And, it's a similar thing, like how people still call X Twitter, even though it's X now, okay? So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, since Halo Campaign Evolved has been released, and even before release, I've seen people criticizing the game for various different things, like, oh, this doesn't look right, that's not faithful, what's going on with the voice acting, why are they reusing these models? And a lot of that stuff I do agree with, but here's my perspective when I look at this game. I'm looking at Halo Campaign Evolved, and I'm thinking, wow, they actually wasted time and resources on this. Halo is in a terrible spot right now, and it's been that way for a while. And 343, they rebrand as Halo Studios. They talk about how, this is the next era for Halo. You had the Bungie era, the 343 era, and now Halo Studios. And this is what you make. This is the first game you decide to make. The way I think about not just Halo, not just video games, but a lot of things, is that we only have so much time, and none of us are getting any fucking younger. So that's where I'm coming from. Okay, that's how I'm looking at this fucking game, okay? There was a time where I was hoping we would get a new, good, complete mainline Halo game while I was still young. That is now impossible now, so now the question is, will we ever get one in my lifetime? I see people throw out all these different ideas, these different types of games that 343 could make. Oh, they should make this type of game. They should make this type of Halo game. Oh, they should do this spin-off with Halo. They should do that. They should do that. Guys, these things take time. Games take time. Some games take a lot of time. There was about a 6-year gap in between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, and Halo Infinite launched back in 2021, and who knows when we'll be getting the next mainline Halo game, if at all. So yeah, there's a bunch of Halo games that 343 could make, but again, time. Okay? Time. These things take time. And so, was Halo Campaign Evolved, was that really 343's best use of their time? A remake of a game that has already been remastered, a shitty remaster, but still a remaster, a game that has been ported to Halo the Master Chief Collection, right? It's playable on modern systems, on PC, higher resolution, higher frame rate. It's a game, the original game, has aged extremely well. I mean, there might be some things about CE that didn't age well compared to later Halo games like Halo 2 and Halo 3, but compared to other games from that time, and even after that time, Halo CE aged very well. And 343, they chose to remake a Halo game, and they remade a game that is still great today, aged very well, playable on modern systems, has already had a remaster. They chose to spend time remaking that. Wow. I'm not surprised, but wow. Like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm coming from. Like I don't have much interest in dissecting the game itself and going through the game and talking about the weird cutscenes and some of the character designs and the weird voice acting and how faithful certain things are. I mean, I might do a little bit of that in this video, but I just wish I wish this game never happened. You know, I remember back in the day when Bungie was making Halo games, it felt like such a big gap in between each game. Like, I remember looking at COD and how Call of Duty got a new game every year, but Halo, we had to wait like 3 years. But those approximately 3-year gaps in between the Bungie mainline Halo games, that's nothing compared to where we're at now. It was about a 6-year gap in between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite, and later this year, it'll have been 5 years since the release of Halo Infinite, and the next mainline Halo game hasn't even been revealed yet. I'm not positive, but I think there's always been at least a year from the time a new mainline Halo game was announced to when it was released, like at least a year in between. And so if that is the case, then if the next mainline Halo game got announced today, then it's likely we wouldn't be getting that game until a year from now. But it could be even longer. I mean, Halo Infinite, we got the first trailer for that in 2018. Game didn't release until 2021. I mean, I guess you could blame some of that on the COVID stuff, but okay, it had an original release date of in 2020. Okay, so 2018 to 2020, from the time it was announced to the time it was supposed to be released. So about a 2-year gap there. Back when Bungie was making Halo, we got CE in 2001, Halo 2 in 2004, Halo 3 in 2007, Halo Reach in 2010. We had, Halo Wars and ODST somewhere in there in the mix. Halo 2 Vista, Halo CE on PC. Like, we were just getting Halo games so much more frequently than we are now. And like, I just don't want to hear that, oh, it's harder to make games now, it takes longer, more goes in. I mean, they're making terrible games. They're making terrible games. What do you mean it takes longer now? Just sometimes they're doing too much. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes with their games, they're doing too much, and they're not smart with how they're allocating their time and resources. As we can see with Halo Campaign Evolved, the fact that they fucking chose to make this game, I feel like that is a massive waste of time and resources. And when I say sometimes they're doing too much, I mean things like, like all the abilities, the Spartan abilities in Halo 5, like that. You don't need that. The open world in Halo Infinite, I don't know how complicated that was or how long that took. Doing the open world thing. Didn't need an open world. They had bots in Halo Infinite. I mean, the bots are cool, but again, how long did that take? How much time was spent doing the bots and getting them to work on different maps with different game modes and stuff? Like, how much time and resources did that take? We didn't need the bots, okay? Like, I think 343 really needs to work on their time management and resource allocation. Like, now. And by now, I mean over a decade ago. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not very interested in Halo nowadays because it's been shit for just so long. I mean, I still enjoy the older games, but yeah, as for the future of Halo, don't really care too much. I mean, if they announce a new game, release a new game, there's some new Halo news, like, I see it, like, I look at it, I check it out. But I've talked about this before. Like, I am currently, and I've felt this way for a long time, I am okay with Halo just going away. No new Halo games. 343 shut down. GG. It's over. Like I'm cool with that. Been cool with that for a long time. Currently, I have not purchased Halo Campaign Evolved. As of now, I have absolutely no interest in playing the game. And I think this is like the second Halo game that I haven't purchased. I mean, it's kind of, I think it's the first Halo game that I haven't played and might never play. Halo Wars 2 is the other Halo game that I didn't purchase, but I did play the beta for that game. I've even played Spartan Assault, Spartan Strike, but yeah, this might be the first Halo game that I never play. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this. So it's been rumored that 343 is remaking Halo 2 and Halo 3 as well. I mean, it was rumored that they were remaking Halo Combat Evolved, and they did that. And at the end of Halo Campaign Evolved, they kind of tease Halo 2. I don't know if they're just like setting up Halo 2 in general, like the Halo 2 that already exists today, or is that them hinting at a remake of Halo 2? But yeah, it's rumored that they're remaking Halo 2 and Halo 3 as well. So here's an idea. Okay. So this rebrand is Halo Studios, the next era of Halo. Y'all want to do remakes? Okay, that's not necessarily a bad idea. That could actually be a really good idea. Yeah, let's remake some shit. But maybe let's not remake the games that are already phenomenal, the Bungie Halo games. The games that aged really well, people love, they're still good today. Yeah, those, yeah. Maybe we don't waste time remaking those, and maybe you guys remake your dog shit Halo games. Wait a minute. I think I'm cooking. I gotta be honest. I think I'm onto something here. Maybe you remake Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Infinite. With everything that you guys have learned over the years, and I think it's fair to say 343 has probably learned some things. Like, I mean, some of you might say, what do you mean they've learned stuff? They're still making the same mistakes. Well, what I mean is all the bad shit in Halo 4 did not make its way into Halo 5. All the bad shit from Halo 5 did not make its way into Infinite. Look at how the art style improved in Infinite and Halo Campaign Evolved. So that's what I mean when I think it's, when I say they probably have learned some things. So maybe you remake the 343 era games, starting with Halo 4. I mean, that could go so fucking hard. It really could. I mean, that could be a good reset. You start over. You 343, they have made so many mistakes, and they're obviously open to remaking games. Okay. Fix your mistakes. There we go. They could remake Halo 4 with a much more faithful art style. Do away with all the dumb shit in multiplayer, like the custom loadouts and the no sprint and all the abilities and the perks and all the dumb shit. I mean, they could make a much better Halo 4 today than the one they released. I think that is very likely that they'd be able to do that. I mean, it still might be a huge step down from the Bungie Halo games, but it could still be a huge improvement from the Halo 4 that exists today. But instead, they decided to remake Halo CE without multiplayer. The decisions, man, the decisions. Remake a game, like I said, remaking a game that has aged very well, that you can play it on modern platforms. It already has a remaster, a shitty remaster, but still a remaster. A game that really didn't need a remake. And I mean, again, Halo Infinite launched back in 2021. People want the next mainline Halo game. And they decided to waste time remaking Halo CE without multiplayer. again, without multi. I mean, this Halo Studios thing, y'all are not off to a good start. Now, on the topic of multiplayer, it was rumored that 343 was working on some kind of like multiplayer only Halo game, and people might have mixed feelings about a multiplayer only Halo game. I mean, for me, I'll say this: I want ideally we get a new good mainline Halo game, but after Halo Infinite released back in 2021, and the game was unfinished, broken, shitty, I remember thinking, okay, do a multiplayer only game. Let's make a multiplayer only game and get that out the door. And my reasoning for that was it was about 6 years we had to wait from Halo 5 to Halo Infinite. Infinite launches, the game shit, it's unfinished. And I'm not trying to wait another 6 years for the next multiplayer Halo game or the next mainline Halo game. So at that time, I would have been okay with them making a multiplayer only Halo game and releasing that relatively quickly compared to how long it takes to make a new mainline Halo title with the campaign and Forge and all the things. Because I didn't want to wait 6 years for the next game to get more Halo multiplayer. And for a lot of people, the multiplayer aspect of Halo, that's where a lot of the replayability comes from. That's why people keep hopping back in and playing the game long term, is because of the multiplayer. But now, seeing that it'll be 5 years this year since Halo Infinite released, and the next mainline Halo game hasn't even been announced, and I think it's likely that if we do get a new mainline Halo game, it'll have been a longer gap in between Infinite and the next mainline title than the gap in between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. At this point, with that much time passing, I'm ready for the next mainline title now. Like I would have been okay with a multiplayer only game, years ago if, we could have got that out the door quicker. But if we had to wait 5, 6, 7 years, possibly longer, then yeah, I think we should be getting more than just a multiplayer only game at that point. And I know I mentioned that it was rumored that they are working on a multiplayer only Halo game, but then there was another report somewhat recently that 343 didn't have any new Halo games in development, or they were really early in development or something like that. Don't know how true these things actually are, but if that is true, then that is just another reason to shut that studio down. Not that there needed to be any more reasons. I mean, there are enough reasons, enough failures by 343 to justify dissolving that studio. But it is possible that they do have a multiplayer only Halo game in development, and they might actually be remaking the original trilogy. I mean, we already have Halo CE. They could be doing 2 and 3 as well. That is what's rumored. And so maybe their plan is to remake the campaigns only from the original trilogy. And then for multiplayer, they're going to have this separate multiplayer only game, and they're going to release that. And that's going to be this live service multiplayer only game. And maybe that multiplayer only game pulls things from CE, pulls some things from 2 and Halo 3 as well, like the maps or the weapons from those games. And maybe that's where they want the multiplayer for these games to live, in this separate live service multiplayer only Halo game, instead of making a separate multiplayer for CE and then Halo 2 and then Halo 3. Instead, they might be just putting that all in one in a separate game, and they pull various different maps and weapons and vehicles from the different Halo games, Halo 1, 2, and 3, and that all lives in this one separate multiplayer only game. And if that is what they were doing, then I think it's less bad remaking the original trilogy without multiplayer. If that multiplayer is going to live in a separate game, then the absence of it in these remakes is less bad, but I still think CE, and if they remake 2 and 3, they should have multiplayer. They just should. Like, if you're gonna remake the game, remake the fucking game. Like, what are we fucking doing? Give me that complete product. And when it was first announced, or it may have still just been a rumor at the time, that this Halo CE remake wasn't gonna have multiplayer, I did see some people talking about how, if they were to do the multiplayer, they'd probably fuck it up. It probably wouldn't be faithful. So it's best just not to do it at all. No. Come on now. Like, yeah, I highly doubt that if 343 remade the multiplayer in Halo Campaign Evolved, that it would be like super faithful to the original multiplayer in the original game, right? It would probably play very different. But no multiplayer at all is not the answer. That is definitely not the answer. I mean, the campaign itself already plays different than the original. They made some changes. They added sprint. You can sprint by certain encounters and stuff like that. So the campaign already plays different. If the multiplayer plays different, I'm not saying that's good, but it's better to have the multiplayer there, like a functional multiplayer, than no multiplayer at all. And the multiplayer that they could have made for Campaign Evolved, maybe it wouldn't have been faithful to the original game, but it could have still been good, or maybe not good, but at least decent. Point is, I really feel like they should have done a multiplayer there. I mean, if you want to do a remake of CE, remake the whole game. I mean, some people are talking about how, oh, this is the best way to play CE. You should play, if you want to play CE, this is the definitive way to play it. Like, what are we talking about, man? We're acting like this fucking Campaign Evolved is actually better than the original. I mean, for one, it doesn't have multiplayer, but even when we're just talking about the campaign, I mean, I don't know, even if Campaign Evolved's campaign is better, like, are you really telling people who want to play Halo for the first time to like skip the original and play this instead, as if it's like the same thing? Like, come on now. Like, if you want to play Halo CE for the first time, you want to experience that, I'd recommend playing the original game. Absolutely. Again, I haven't played Campaign Evolved, but I've watched it. I've seen people playing it. I've seen clips. And now might be a good time to actually talk about the game, the things I like, the things I don't like. So first off, when it comes to remakes, usually I'm not super thrilled about remakes of things that already exist and they're already good. Like, I won't say I'll never like a remake of anything, but again, if it's something already established, it exists, it's good. Like, I typically like don't like taking that thing and then just doing it again and trying to make it prettier, like, or doing it again but different. But I will say that Halo CE is not a perfect game. Like, I can identify flaws in the game, like the repetitiveness of some of the areas and a lot of the backtracking in the campaign, or the recycled environments. I'm not knocking Bungie for it. Like, I mean, they put out an incredible product. Like, they gave us something very good. Like, so that is not me like criticizing them, but I mean, I'd be lying if I said that I thought a remake couldn't be better than the original game. I do think a better version of Halo CE could be made. Like that is possible. Not very likely that 343 was going to be able to do it, but I'm saying it's possible. And I'm not saying that Halo CE needed a remake. I'm not saying that I wanted a remake, but we got a remake. And I'll be honest, when it comes to a remake of something, like, I'm more likely to be okay with big changes than I would be with a remaster. Because to me, a remaster is just improve the visuals, keep the game the same, improve visuals, improve some animations, but the game should overall just be the same. The layout, the story, stuff like that. But with a remake, I look at a remake as more of a remaster plus. A remaster plus other changes. So when I see changes to the original game in this remake, I'm likely going to be less critical of them because it is a remake. You're remaking the game. You're not just making it prettier. It's a remake. Again, not saying I wanted it, not saying it's a good remake, not saying that Halo CE needed to be a remake, but it got remade. And this game was built in Unreal Engine, and I see a lot of people criticizing Unreal Engine, and I see some flaws. I see some things I don't like, and from what I've heard, from what I understand, like some of these things that I see in the game that look bad, people mention that that's just like an issue with Unreal Engine itself. But I'll be honest, when I've seen Halo in Unreal Engine, like in Campaign Evolved or fan projects in the past, I think Halo can look very good in Unreal Engine, okay? And with this game, Campaign Evolved, there are some shots that I think look really good. Like, for real, like I'll see little bits of gameplay or screenshots, and I'm like, wow, that is giving CE vibes right there. That looks good. So when it comes to visuals, when it comes to the visuals of Halo in Unreal, I'm not like some huge hater when it comes to that. I think Halo can look really good in Unreal. But everything doesn't look good. Like there are some things that I've noticed, and this is one of the things like I've heard people mention that this is like an issue with a lot of Unreal games is, there's certain like, I noticed this in their in the first like trailer or gameplay that they released for Campaign Evolved. And like I noticed like for some textures there's this like fizzy like graininess to the texture, and it like I don't know how to explain it. Some of you may know what I'm talking about. I've noticed some like bad pop in when watching the game. And when it comes to the art style of the game, I mean, there's things I like, things I don't like. I will say I hate the Forerunner architecture in this game. Yeah, it's just too detailed, too over-designed and shiny, and it's not giving CE Forerunner vibes at all. I mean, the Forerunner architecture in CE kind of almost looks like stone at times. It's just way too different in Campaign Evolved. Like, I don't like that at all. Like, at all. It would have been really cool to see Forerunner architecture in this game that resembles OG CE more, but it just doesn't. There's certain models in this game that I don't love, like certain models for like the elites or the grunts. Not that they look bad, but it's not the CE models. The Marines, I don't like the way the Marines look. I mean, the Needler is something. I mean, I think that's just the Infinite Needler. The C, which is a shame because the CE Needler, the way that looks, that was my favorite Needler visually out of any of the Halo games. And same goes for the design of the Marines in CE. That was my favorite Marine design. And I think some of the models are pulled from Infinite. Some might be pulled from Reach, or it might just be that the animations are Reach and the models are Infinite. Something like that. Yeah, some of the cutscenes in this game are weird. The voice acting is an issue. I do have a big issue with Johnson. When they showed the trailer for this game at the Xbox Game Showcase, one of the first things that stood out to me was Johnson's voice. When I heard it, it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? This doesn't really sound like Johnson. And that's because it's not the original Johnson voice actor. They have somebody new, not sure what their name is. The original voice actor of Johnson was David Scully. Apparently he's retired. That's what I've heard. And I will say this, like this new Johnson, whoever's voicing him, like if you need new, if Johnson is in like a different game, some other kind of like prequel game or something, and you need, or the prequel missions for this game, and you need a new voice actor for Johnson, I don't think this is a terrible pick. Like, I mean, if you can't get the original, what, and you got to use this new voice actor. Okay, I get it. Not the end of the world, but I mean, when we're re-recording lines with this new voice actor for Johnson, like, come on now, come on. And then I think they got a new voice actor for Keys in this game. Don't like him as much as the original. I think Cortana and Chief re-recorded some lines, and I think some of their original lines are still mixed in there. And the delivery of some of these voice lines, I felt was kind of awkward, kind of weird, wasn't that good for various characters. So yeah, that I didn't love all the cutscenes or the voice acting in this game. As for the prequel missions, I've seen gameplay of them, but I don't know. I don't really have too many thoughts on them. From what I've heard from others, they're just okay missions. And one of the characters in those prequel missions that I saw some people criticizing was this ODST named Williams. And like there's this thing where like I guess in the lore, the ODSTs have some kind of beef with Spartans, and she kind of acts like she resents Chief a little bit, and it's kind of dismissive of him, and they're like there's this clear like beef there between them, or it's a one-sided beef where she has kind of like an issue with him. And like I get that might exist in the lore, in the books, I get that, but it's a weird thing when you're taking this lore from the books that wasn't really explored in the games, and then you're just like shoving it in there. It's like, oh yeah, this is the lore, this is in a book, so we're just gonna put it here. Like, I mean, like in Halo 5, I just remember like at the beginning of that game, like where Chief is with Blue Team, and it's like, who the fuck even is Blue Team if you didn't read the books? And then you have like Locke and his fucking team, and I don't even know if that was explained in a book, but point is, it's this awkward thing where when you take this lore that was only explored in the books, or only thoroughly explored in the books, and then you just plop it into the game, it's kind of jarring and weird. And like, I don't blame if fans are playing this and they're like, what's going on with this ODST chick? Like, why does she have an issue with Chief? I don't understand. Like, I don't blame the fans. Like, oh, you should have read the books. No, it's just, it should have been explained in the games better. And I get that this was only 3 prequel missions, so there's only so much you could do, but it probably would have been better just not to include that in these missions at all. But anyways, those are some of my thoughts on the game itself. Like I said, I'm really not too interested in breaking down this game and dissecting it and talking about what's faithful and what's not, and what I liked and what I didn't like. And I mean, I did a little bit, but I'm just so uninterested in this game. I really am. So yeah, I think that this game was a massive waste of time and resources. It's kind of hard to be hopeful about Halo's future. Has been for a long time. And so yeah, I guess that's it. Those are my thoughts. Campaign evolves. Who the fuck cares? Where's the next multiplayer, the next mainline title? Like, what are we doing, guys? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Go rebrand again as something else and try again, whatever. But that's gonna be it for this one. Later.